Part 32. Flash Marriage of the Era. Married to a crazy husband who amazes everyone. Author, Yuan. Chapter 311. Qin Yanxi's face softened slightly, darkening a little, and he made it clear. Yang Cixi hugged him and said, "Aci, I've wronged you. I made you suffer with me." Qin Yanxi deeply felt that he owed her. Yang Cixi laughed out loud, "I'm not bitter. You have done a lot for me and inspired me." If she had been living in the Li family, based on her original situation, it was assumed that Li Yue and Qin Yanxi were engaged. Song Hanmei could not have let her sister get married too much later than Li Yue. She will most likely be married soon. And Song Hanmei is so sinister. The man chosen for her. Not much better than a man like Feng Shuangzi. She was married and wanted to make a comeback, so she had to rely on herself. It's not like now, no matter how big or small, there is someone to help you. Even if the street stall goods are confiscated, we can help her get them back. She can already foresee how smooth her business will be when the ban is lifted in the future. Thinking of this, she held his face and kissed him on the left and right. Qin Yanxi's unhappiness disappeared completely. "Really? What did I do? What inspiration did I give you?" Yang Cixi should tell her in detail, such as doing housework, buying clothes for her, standing up for her, mixing shampoo for her, etc. "You are so good to me, I can't say enough in one day or one night." Qin Yanxi finally smiled. She actually remembered all these little things. Yang Cixi coaxed the Qin banquet to go smoothly, and he felt at ease. Thinking about when the reporter will publish the report about Qin Yanxi's rescue. If there is no news in 3 days. She went to the newspaper office and paid someone to write one. In short, ACI's efforts must be greatly rewarded. At this time, there was another knock on the door. "Is anyone home?" Yang Cixi recognized Aunt Sun's voice and responded, "Aunt Sun is here." Qin Yanxi stepped forward and opened the door. Aunt Sun pointed to the package on the ground. "The postman delivered it this morning. There was no one at your house. I happened to be going out, so I asked him to leave it at my house. It seems to be from Yunhe County in the south." Qin Yan said thank you. After Aunt Sun left, he closed the door. Yang Cixi came over and said, "What is it? It's not from Ding Xia, is it?" She checked the name and found that it was indeed her. Opened the sealed sack, revealing Polygonum multiflorum and a letter inside. "Look at the font. It belongs to Who's Hiking." The letter said that the old man at home was sick and needed some money. He had nothing else to give, so he sent some Polygonum multiflorum to show his sincerity and hoped that he could use it. "Qin Yanxi, obviously I want you to pay me by the pound." Yang Cixi checked the quality of Polygonum multiflorum and said, "But this time the digging was pretty good, I can give her the money." "But you have clearly told her that you will not accept it." Qin Yanxi had already learned from another person's message that Ding Xia had sent Polygonum multiflorum once. How many days has it been? It means that the person started preparing these things early. After receiving the money from his wife, he didn't want to miss such a good opportunity to make money, so he deliberately ignored the letter from his wife. After thinking for a moment, he said, "You must not send money to her. If she reports you for buying Polygonum multiflorum, her reporting reward will be twice the money you spent to buy her things." "It's not that bad," Yang Cixi thought in her heart. "Qin Yanxi, if you hadn't written to reject her, I wouldn't have thought about it. Buying and selling by force is unkind. But it's not my style to take her things without paying well. I sent the money to her in the name of Feng Shuangzi. She knew my address and followed the lead to confirm the whereabouts of the goods through the postman." Flash Marriage of the Era, Married to a Crazy Husband Who Amazes Everyone. Author, Yuan. Chapter 312. If I have a record of sending money and she really reports it, my buying and selling will form a complete chain of evidence. Feng Shuangzi and I are not related to each other. If I just fill in the address for him in the sender field, The evidence obtained there will not be complete and they are not qualified to investigate me. Qin Yanxi laughed out loud, it's feasible, but don't rush to send it yet. Yang Sisi responded, it's up to you. The college student was highly educated and would definitely consider things more carefully than she did. All she had to do was obey the arrangement. She washed the Polygonum multiflorum sent to her and steamed it in a pot. Take it to the balcony to dry. After doing all this, it was already dark. She didn't want to cook and went out to eat with Qin Yanxi. As soon as I came downstairs, I met Qin Jinying. Banquet speech, SISI, me. Qin Yanxi, there is no need to apologize, and there is no need to ask for my forgiveness. Your sister-in-law, hey, I never thought about arguing with you. I don't know what she thinks. She thinks of you as an enemy. Qin Jin was helpless. Qin Yanxi's eyes were calm, is she like this from the beginning? You must have given her the wrong signal. If her family instigates her like that, will she treat me as an enemy? If you can show your attitude when she mentions me, she stands firmly on my side, how dare she act rashly? Just like his mother, she would test his attitude towards Sisi from time to time. Whenever he was not strong, Sisi would definitely be offended. Similarly, Lu Yuechun only dared to be unscrupulous because of the protection and connivance of his elder brother. Qin Jin could no longer refute, I am the one giving the banquet speech. Qin Yanxi, no need to say more, I know everything in my mind, and there is one more thing that I have always had doubts about. Ask her, when the unified examination was resumed last year, did she find someone to put me in a warehouse to make me miss the exam? Yang Sisi was shocked, is Lu Yuechun involved in this matter? I won't stop until a CI is trampled into the mud. It can also be said from the side that Lu Yuechun was extremely frightened by AC's ability. Are you afraid that ACI will take the father-in-law's position? She thinks it's feasible to take the father-in-law's route if he remains in the same emotional state as when he wore glasses. Now, if you maintain excellent grades in college, it would be more appropriate to stay in school and teach college students, or do something that involves less contact with people. What? Qin Jin couldn't believe it, please explain the banquet speech more clearly. Qin Yanxi didn't want to stop, so he waved Qin Jin away impatiently, grabbed his arm, and led Yang Sisi away. After putting some distance between him and Qin Jin, Yang Sisi said, ACI, when did you find out what happened? My guess is that Lu Yuechun has a cousin who works in the hospital, and in our farm, a young man named Lu came to our farm in the spring of last year. He has always been at odds with me, but he didn't work at the same time as me, and he lived in a different place. Also far. In addition, I am not easy to get along with and am everyone's public enemy. Therefore, after I missed the exam, I did not think about the young man named Lu. Until just now, I had never connected the two. In addition, your brother suddenly fell ill and was hospitalized before the exam. I suddenly thought that the biscuits given out in the team in those days were from a man named Lu. I didn't want to eat them, but your brother ate them. I felt a little more certain in my heart. Yang Sisi felt a chill running down her back, the whole family has done harm to you. Aren't they worried about you inheriting Dad's position? Dad's position is so attractive. The east side of the city is the richest district in Yanjing. Dad's position represents wealth and power. Otherwise, why do you think the living conditions at home are so good? My father-in-law plunders the people's fat and the people's anointing. Qin Yanxi covered her mouth, don't talk nonsense, Dad is not that kind of person. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Flash marriage of the era. Married to a crazy husband who amazes everyone. Author, Yuan. Chapter 313. The two of them discussed quietly all the way and stopped talking before entering the noodle shop. 1 beef noodles, 1 pork, and green onion wontons, Ying Sisi said. No beef noodles, 2 scallion wontons, Qin Yancy corrected. Ying Sisi was puzzled and said, your taste changes so quickly. Before now, you said you loved beef noodles the most, but you changed it just a few days ago. Qin Yancy curled his fingers and gently rubbed the tip of his nose with his bent knuckles. I'm tired of it. Ying Sisi tilted her head. Every time she felt guilty, she would rub her nose unconsciously. The old lady teased her if she had done something bad. Was he feeling guilty at this time? What is it? Give him face and don't ask further, okay. After finishing the wontons, Ying Sisi and Qin Yan resigned and walked back. When approaching the gate, the way was blocked by an old couple. The two of them had tears in their eyes. I'm sorry for the banquet. You have been wronged about Yue-chun. That girl was spoiled by me, but she is actually not a bad character. I hope you can spare her a life for the sake of our age. Qin Yancy's attitude was cold and cold. Since you know you are sorry for me and understand my grievances, and you still ask me to spare her, wouldn't I be even more aggrieved? Why do you ask me to bear the consequences for someone you have spoiled? Isn't she a bad character? The bad thing has nothing to do with me. Now you are afraid, not because you are wrong, but because Lao Qin is ready to settle the score with you. Father Lu rubbed his hands awkwardly and said resignedly, I accept all punishments, except that my daughter cannot get divorced. You will also be a father in the future. If your daughter makes a mistake, her husband's family will have to fight with her. Li, you. Stop talking nonsense. It's your fault if you can't accept it, as long as I can accept it. Besides, if my daughter makes a mistake, I will strangle her to death to eliminate harm for the people. You should learn from me and strangle that loser to death. After Qin Yan finished his speech, he hugged Ying Sisi and walked around them. Father Lu's brain is congested, this bastard. The oil and salt are not coming in, and the cards are not played according to the routine. He had prepared a lot of words, but he didn't listen to a word. Mother Lu's hair was turning gray with worry. Old Lu, what should we do? I still don't believe it. The Qin family really dares to divorce. Yue-chun has been married into their family for so many years, and Qin Yanjun has nothing to do with it. I'll talk to her later, and I'll negotiate terms with Qin Yanjun. Father Lu considered the details as he walked. The light was dim at night, so Ying Sisi and Qin Yancy entered the family courtyard and turned around to hide behind the wall. She listened carefully, and after Lu's father's voice, which he had deliberately lowered, gradually disappeared, she planned to follow him. She said, ACI, you go home first. I'll be back as soon as I can. Qin Yancy, what did they say? Discuss what to do with Lao Qin. Ying Sisi blinked, did you hear it too? Can't hear, guess. Ying Sisi admired his logical reasoning ability. The guess is really accurate. I really don't know what the Lu family is thinking. Even if you take Dad's place in the future, as the sister-in-law, won't you also benefit from it? If I have a better person, my brother-in-law is smart and can help me, so it's not too late to be happy. Not everyone can imagine as you do. Compared with Qin Yancy's calmness, Qin Jin was upset and agitated. Going back to the hospital again, facing Lu Yue-chun in the hospital bed, he was full of doubts. Qin Jin, you are back, what should you say at the banquet? Lu Yue-chun felt chills all over his body when he thought of Qin Yanjun's words. She gave birth to 4 children for the Qin family. Flash marriage of the era. Married to a crazy husband who amazes everyone. Author, Yuan. Chapter 314. Qin Jin was ordered to divorce her within 3 days, otherwise she would be kicked out of the courtyard. He made a request. If she agreed to divorce, she could take away all the children if she couldn't bear to leave. If she doesn't want it, the child will stay in the Qin family and she will have nothing to do with it. She cannot accept any of the conditions. Qin Jin looked sad. You didn't give me a chance to speak at all. He paused and said, the banquet asked me to ask you, when the unified examination was resumed last year, did you find someone to lock him in the warehouse? Lu Yuechun's expression froze, and she subconsciously denied it. If it's not me, who should I ask to do it? Your cousin Lu Gang. Do you still want to deny it? Qin Jin stared at her with burning eyes. Lu Gang went to the countryside in the spring of last year and was on the same farm as Yancy. If someone harmed Yancy, only the other party would have the chance to do it. Seeing that Lu Yuechun didn't speak, he had the answer in his mind and said disappointedly, Lu Gang caused Yancy to lose the opportunity to take the exam, but I treat him as a brother. Yancy hates me, and I don't lose at all. Visiting relatives at the beginning of this year, Lu Yuechun's third aunt said that Lu Gang had only completed 1 year of qualifications and had not been admitted to university. I won't be happy to do a bad job, and it's hard to get a good one. Asking him to help Shang Xin, he asked his father to arrange for him to enter his unit and help him every day. Unexpected. I didn't. Lu Yuechun's argument seemed feeble at the moment. It's impossible for my brother to do this. Their work and rest schedules are different. My brother is often on duty at night, and he works during the day. I never reply to letters or banquets at home. No one knows what kind of job he does, but you actually know. Qin Jin laughed angrily. Lu Yuechun bit her lip. I also heard what my brother said. I have personally seen your dad receive letters of banquets several times, but he just didn't reply to your letters. At this time, you are still instigating the relationship between our brothers. Qin Jin was angry. You are in vain for my trust. Regarding the divorce, I will listen to dad's arrangements. He left. Lu Yuechun hurriedly got up and chased after her. She fell from a height and was bruised all over her body. The pain made her fall back on the bed. Qin Jin, don't go. I know I was wrong. I will live a good life with you in the future. Back. Lu Yuechun couldn't stop crying. The patients passing by the door of the ward took pity on her and came to comfort her. She was not grateful, but scolded others for being nosy. Everyone could not get a good word from me and left angrily. If anyone accommodates her emotions, close the door for her. I don't know how long it took, but the door was pushed open. Lu Yuechun saw it was Lu's father and Lu's mother, and said aggrievedly, Dad, Mom, what should I do if the Qin family doesn't want me? I told you earlier that the method of dealing with Qin Yancy wouldn't work, but you said it could. We didn't ask you to harm the person you were going to banquet with. You suffered a loss for not consulting us about what happened last time. This time, you didn't have a long memory. You were so careful about giving people any medicine. Your cousin did the same. He gave you that thing. Son. Father Lu scolded the two of them. Then, turning to the topic, he said in a very low voice, in all the years you have been in Lao Qin's house, has he ever done anything shameful? For example, when someone else gave him a gift, he did something, and the evidence was left in your hands. Lu Yuechun shook his head feebly. If there is, I will threaten him myself. Is there a woman outside him, or has he been to the widow's village? Lu Yuechun still shook his head. Widow's village? I've never heard of it. Neighbors often discussed which man had a mistress outside and which man was flirting with whom. When Qin Yanjun is mentioned, all he talks about is his achievements. Flash marriage of the era. Married to a crazy husband who amazes everyone. Author, Yuan. Chapter 315. He got off work on time this year and always stayed in the study. Are there any other women with a man like this? Lu Mu grasped the key point. What widow's village? How do you know there is such a place? Have you been to it? Father Lu, how could I have been to a place like that? You've never been there, how do you know? Have you never eaten pork or seen pigs running? Lu's father scolded Lu's mother for causing trouble, and once again turned the topic to Qin Yanjun. I don't take bribes and don't want to be lewd. I don't believe there is such a person. You must have not paid attention. Observe. I take care of so many children on weekdays, how can I have time to observe them? Damn the Chin family, they talk about how lucky you are all the time, mad. You gave birth to 4 sons and daughters in their family, and they actually fell out at the slightest suggestion. Father Lu was so angry that he stayed up all night, and finally in the morning there's a brilliant idea. Qin Yanxi was diagnosed with a brain problem in his early years, so he discussed this matter with Qin Yanjun. If Qin Yanjun insisted on driving away his daughter, he would bring the matter to the Shen family. Would Shen Yuxian allow his daughter to be with a psychopath? He woke up Lu Yuechun. Where is Qin Yanxi's medical certificate? Lu Yuechun regretted, I was robbed by Ying Sisi. Father Lu jumped to his feet. Ah! How could you let Ying Sisi know about such an important thing? She knew the situation and didn't say anything. Lu Yuechun rubbed her hair irritably. I didn't tell you, that woman is very evil. It was only after she got married that Qin Yanxi learned a lot. Although Qin Yanxi in her impression was very sarcastic, he was rude to his father. Mom, it's rare to get to the point. After getting together with Ying Sisi, the Chinese and old couple felt guilty. His complaints are nothing compared to his experience. Now he is admitted to university again. No matter how bad his attitude was, his parents would only say they were angry, and they would turn around and face him again, looking like they liked him again. In addition, he stayed in the family home all day long and did not go home. His parents-in-law missed him even more, for fear that he would not be able to eat well or wear well. As long as the unit distributes good things, Qin Yanxi will definitely have a copy. My mother-in-law often asked people she knew from outside to buy fashion clothes for Ying Sisi. Thinking about it, she really regretted inviting Sisi to her door. At first I thought it was an embroidered pillow, but I didn't know it was so tricky inside. You know that Qin Yanxi is a good scholar, but you still give him some incense? You said you, Father Lu nodded at Lu Yuechun's forehead. You looked at him for a long time, and finally turned into a sigh. No one can confirm that Qin Yanxi is he mentally ill? The doctor who diagnosed him before, do you know the situation? No, only the name. The name is fine too, just tell me and I'll ask someone to find out. Lu Yuechun, my name is Lu Chaosheng. He is probably retired. He either lives in a family home or a nursing home arranged by the government. Lu Yuechun was very worried and tried every means. Ying Sisi felt extremely comfortable. Her ACI finally decided to focus on her studies after she accompanied him to climb the mountain and drew a painting for her. On this day, he went to the teacher's house early in the morning and left her at home to fiddle with the materials for making shampoo. She finished what she was doing. Looking at the 2 paintings he painted before and after with fondness. The color of the previous picture is light, just click on it. The latter picture is colorful and contrasts sharply. Even if she doesn't know how to appreciate paintings, she can still tell the difference between the two. The more she looked at it, the more she felt. Li Yuwei's words about emphasizing personality came to mind. Heavy Frost. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Flash marriage of the era. Married to a crazy husband who amazes everyone. Author, Yuan. Chapter 316. She said to herself, why don't you go to the hospital and ask the doctor? It's better not to ask. I said I trust him, and Li Yuwei doesn't want to see me, so I can't be fooled by her. The frost is as severe as the frost. I have accepted all my mental illnesses, and I can ignore them no matter how big the problem is. Who told me to like it? What's more, both of his paintings in 2 styles were painted by me. Suddenly her mind flashed, 2. 2 equals 2, Dual personality. What does it mean? When she asked the doctor if schizophrenia split into two people, the doctor said that it was a symptom of illness. Is this dual personality the real two people? The two of them shared their time sleeping with her, and she already got goosebumps just thinking about it. Bang bang bang. There was a rapid knock on the door. Yang Cixi came back to her senses. Who? Si, it's me. Yang Cixi opened the door. Qin Yanjun looked excited and held a newspaper in his hand. Here's the banquet speech. He reported it and said that he acted bravely and saved a woman who couldn't get over it in the river in the hospital. Yes, you still know that woman. Qin Yanjun's smile faded. Yancy saved Lu Yuechun. Isn't that right? Now you know how kind ACI is, right? Although Lu Yuechun harmed him, he still chose to repay evil with kindness. Qin Yanjun was very pleased, but at the same time distressed. The eldest son kept asking him to be considerate of Lu Yuechun, but for the sake of the second son, he couldn't let her go. He sighed, the banquet speech is really good, the banquet speech. Yang Cixi, he is not at home and has found a teacher to study. Qin Yanjun was in a better mood. He really worked hard in his speech at the family banquet. It's all your credit. Yang Cixi rolled her eyes at him. I don't dare to ask for credit. There is something I want to ask you. I always feel that it's strange that the first few days of the month and the subsequent behavior don't look like the same person. If you look at the painting he painted, I don't know how to appreciate it, but I can tell that it was the work of two people. Qin Yanjun was used to seeing wind and waves, and knowing that she was suspicious again, he said calmly, I can also come up with two styles. Our family attaches great importance to cultivating personal talents. Your grandfather was still there when he was studying at the banquet, and he did it for him. We hired no fewer than 10 calligraphy and painting teachers. He said for a while. Then do you know about dual personality? Yang Cixi said something abruptly. Qin Yanjun was startled. Where did she hear it? That is what Li Yue said. Li Junlu, who was in a bad mood, kept ensuring that Li Yue would not talk nonsense. Is this what is guaranteed? He reacted quickly and immediately took over the conversation. What's so important about personality? Which Zhuang? Odd and even pairs. Do you know about dual personalities? It's just one person, but his inner self is actually two people. A CI has told me that he has a dual personality. Qin Yanjun responded intuitively to SIC's deception. Should he dare to say that the banquet speech can wait until today? Don't scare me. Why don't I, the father, know that he has this problem? Yang Cixi looked at him secretly. The attitude is frank, it doesn't look like you are lying to him. Did she think wrong again? But the evidence was right in front of her and she couldn't ignore it. Just listen to Qin Yanjun say again, Cixi, are you bored at home alone, so you are thinking randomly? It will take half a month to learn the driver's license. You have nothing to do these days and go out to play more. Make a few friends, go shopping, buy some food and clothes. I see that your mother bought you the clothes you are wearing. Your mother can't buy them for you for the rest of your life, right? You have to learn to dress yourself. If not, I'll give you the money, or you can reimburse me for buying it. Please vote. Flash marriage of the era. Married to a crazy husband who amazes everyone. Author, Yuan. Chapter 317. Yang Cixi felt full of guilt after hearing this. Her parents-in-law never treated her badly. Even if ACI is really two people, so what? It was not what he wanted. He took great care of her, sharing the housework on a daily basis, running errands for her at the risk of being caught, selling stamps and copper coins, staying up late at night and braving the north wind to go fishing, and transportation with her to the city in the freezing cold and snowy conditions, and even living half of the mountain for her month, just to research shampoo. If she were alone, she would have had to endure a lot of hardships and take a long time to accomplish these things. She was always suspicious of him just because he was different from ordinary people. How heartless. She should tolerate him more and take care of him more. She figured it out and felt relieved both physically and mentally. He smiled and said, "I've been inexplicably nervous in the past 2 days. Maybe it's the sequelae of smelling my sister-in-law's fragrance." I didn't say anything, so I guessed it myself. Qin Yanjun, this dead girl. Very treacherous. He was so frightened that a layer of sweat broke out on his back. No matter how big or small, call her when she comes back from the banquet, and our family will go to a restaurant to celebrate. Brother is probably not in the mood. As soon as Qin Yanjun heard Qin Jin's name, his tone deepened. Don't call him, useless thing. Being tricked around by a woman. You can call your grandma, Jianghe Hotel at 6 o'clock, don't forget. Oh. As Qin Yanjun stepped out of the door, Ying Sisi stopped him. Dad, wait a minute. She went into the guest room and took out 2 cans of shampoo. The shampoo you left for Mom, please give it to her. Okay, your mother will take the money later, and I will hand it over to the banquet. Qin Yanjun left quickly, went back downstairs to the office, and immediately contacted the tutor and asked Qin Yanxi to see him immediately. Put down the phone. After waiting for about half an hour, Qin Yanxi knocked on the door of his office. Qin Yanjun opened the door in person and dragged the person into the room. Yanxi, this is serious. SISI knows your dual personality. Qin Yanxi's dark eyes tightened. How did she know? How did she react? She said she guessed, but she didn't react much. Maybe she was still confused. Just like your mother, she has a long reflex arc and it takes several days for things to calm down. Qin Yanjun recounted the incident and concluded, 9 times out of 10, I learned about the situation from Li Yue. I will settle the score with Lao Li later. If SISI wants to divorce you, see if I don't steal Li Junlu. Qin Yan couldn't sit still and rushed out of the door before Qin Yanjun finished speaking. Getting on his bicycle, he flew downstairs to the family courtyard. He didn't have time to stop and throw the bike away, and he climbed the 3 steps upstairs. The hand holding the key shook for a long time before he opened the door. Daughter-in-law, wife-in-law, he rushed into the house and called for someone. Ying Sisi was drying Polygonum multiflorum on the other side of the balcony when she heard a voice reply. Here she got up and walked towards the living room. As soon as he reached the door frame of the balcony, he was held tightly in his arms. He thought she had run away. The mountains in the south are so big and there are so many. If she just hides away, why can't she be like Shen Yushan, who has been searching for 20 years and still can't find them? Ying Sisi broke away from him. ACI, are you bringing me good news? Qin Yanxi was stunned. Announcement. She already knows his secret. How happy is he? What he fears most now is that she cannot accept that she is actually with 2 men. He forced himself to calm down to prevent her from seeing his panic. He followed her and said, yeah. Ying Sisi smiled. There's no need to be so excited. If Lu Yuechun knew that you were published in the newspaper for saving him, he might vomit more blood. Flash marriage of the era. Married to a crazy husband who amazes everyone. Author, Yuan. Chapter 318. Qin Yanxi's impatient heart suddenly calmed down. This is what happened. As soon as he arrived at teacher Jiang's house today, the old man pointed to the name in the newspaper and asked if he was the person who acted bravely for justice. Get a positive answer. The teacher called the sub-district office and asked about the reward for being brave. The sub-district office said it would prepare banners and bonuses. He had already expected this. Because he had many ideas in mind when he rescued Lu Yuechun. 1. His father will think that he repays evil with kindness, and he will hate Lu Yuechun even more. 2nd, he will receive social rewards. The 3rd one, Chi Lu Yuechun. Killing 3 birds with 1 stone. He said, she deserves to be vomited to death. Yeah, Ying Sisi changed the subject. Dad came over today and said that we would go to a restaurant to have dinner in the evening to celebrate you. Qin Yanxi, that's what I meant. Since he has made arrangements, I will listen to him. Shall we watch a movie after dinner? It's just those few movies that come and go, I don't want to watch them. Ying Sisi planned to take a nap to pick up the old lady. Are you looking for the teacher later? Qin Yanxi saw that her expression was as usual and there was no wording directed at him in her words, so she finally felt relieved and said, yeah, old Qin was anxious to find him, and when he came back in time, he left the book at his teacher's house. Leave now. Let's get off school early, Ying Sisi said. Good. After Qin Yanxi left, Ying Sisi went back to her room to rest, took a short nap, and set off to pick up the old lady. I always feel like there is someone behind me on the road, but when I turn around I find nothing. She has lived in the mountains since she was a child and has a strong sense of danger. I am sure someone is following her. She analyzed calmly, Li Yue is not good enough, Lu Yuechun cannot protect herself, and the only one who is capable is Shen Ru. Want to vent your anger for Yan Yi? She is not someone to be bullied. She changed her mind and did not plan to pick up the old lady. Instead, she deliberately walked in circles on the avenue. Finally, 2 hours later, she identified the people who were following her. They were 3 in total. They were very tall. She was riding a bicycle and they were walking, and they were able to catch up with her. These people are not something she can deal with. She silently took note of the other person's facial features and rode towards home. It was 5:30 when I got home. Qin Yanxi was waiting for her. When he saw her, his eyes brightened. Daughter-in-law, where are you? He thought she had run away again. I was originally going to pick up grandma for dinner. Ying Sisi explained what happened. I will describe the other person's facial features. Can you draw it? Qin Yanxi, just a description, I don't have any idea, but you can give it a try. Let's go to the hotel first, just in time to talk to Lao Qin and ask him to ask someone to investigate. Okay, Ying Sisi was eager to have her father-in-law participate, which made her feel much more at ease. Ying Sisi and Qin Yanxi arrived at the hotel 5 minutes early. Father Qin and Mother Qin are already waiting there. Mom and Dad, I kept you waiting for a long time, Ying Sisi said apologetically. Si Mother Qin glanced behind the two of them. I didn't answer. Ying Sisi briefly told the story of being followed. I suspect Shen Ru did it, but there is no evidence. Go to your father directly about this matter, he will definitely be able to solve it for you. Ying Sisi lowered her eyes slightly. Aren't you my father? Qin Yanjun was delighted. That's what he said. Quite true. He is indeed much more reliable than her biological father. But Shen Yuxian still has to do the work, and he will take the credit. I will handle it. After eating, Qin Yanjun and Qin's mother followed the two of them back to the courtyard. Ying Sisi and Qin Yanxi returned to the guest room first. She described to him the appearance of the person who was following her, and he drew it from the side. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Flash marriage of the era. Married to a crazy husband who amazes everyone. Author, Yuan. Chapter 319. Father Qin and Mother Qin were sitting in the living room watching TV. After the show, she got up and walked around. The house is tidy, but the balcony is a mess. I don't know what was sun-dried on the ground, but it was covered with a dark layer. She picked one up and brought it to Qin Yanjun. Old Qin, look, what is this? It looks a bit like taro, but not the same. It's still soft when you hold it. It has an indescribable smell. Qin Yanjun came closer and took a sniff, It smells a bit like the shampoo that was given to me at the banquet. Mother Chin took a breath. It's a bit similar, but not as fragrant as yours. Ask Sci later. Qin Yanjun's mind changed. Sci said that the shampoo was bought on the black market. The black market is full of people looking for a bargain. The shampoo doesn't even have a label. It's a pure 3-no product. Can it be sold? A can of shampoo was sold in a shop for 2 yuan, but he wouldn't even consider it and would definitely not buy it. Couldn't she have done it herself? Let his wife use it, and it works. When others ask and his wife talks about it, doesn't she help to promote it? It's impossible to think about it. Sci has never even entered a formal school, how can she create shampoo? His son seems to be able. Chemistry is best learned when Yancy is studying. Purification and dilution are simple and easy for banquets. Sci has lived in the mountains since she was a child, so she should be familiar with some common medicinal materials, right? About half an hour later, Ying Sisi and Qin Yancy walked out of the room. Ying Sisi handed the portrait to Qin Yanjun. Dad, look at them, they look almost like this. Qin Yanjun read it briefly. I understand. Qin's mother said, Sisi, what are you doing? Can you eat it? Ying Sisi was surprised and said, have you eaten it? This is Polygonum multiflorum, it's poisonous. I didn't eat it. Why are you drying poisonous stuff on the floor? Qin's mother immediately went into the bathroom to rinse her palms. When she came back, she said, this smells like the 2 cans of shampoo given to your dad as a gift. Qin Yanjun said, Sisi, those cans of shampoo you gave your mother don't have a brand or certificate of quality on them. The manufacturers have unknown origins, so they can't be fakes, right? Qin's mother tried to dispel the accusation, my hair has grown out, how can it be fake? The products they sell on the black market are not made through formal channels, so it is impossible to give you a brand. When Ying Sisi heard this, she had another idea in mind. She made a fake sign and put it on it, and sold it in the mall at a higher price. I just don't know if it's against the rules or not. Ask Qin Yancy later. He knows a lot and can give her advice. She smiled and echoed, Mom is right. Besides, doesn't it matter as long as the things are effective? Qin Yanjun did not answer the call. Qin's mother yawned, it's getting late, let's go back first. Ying Sisi, you can live here. Qin Yanjun temporarily decided to stay overnight. It's so late, it's freezing outside, how cold is it when riding a bicycle? Stay here, it's convenient to go to work tomorrow morning. You don't care about the child. You are a person who can't tell the order of things, and your mother doesn't care. We are grandparents, so what do we worry about? Besides, aren't there 2 ants guarding the house? It's not like Qin Jin won't go home. The native language of Qin is Psi. Banquet, let's stay here tonight. I have something to tell you. Qin Yanjun thought about it. His son made the shampoo, and Sisi was responsible for selling it. The 2 of them are more courageous than the other, so you think he has the whole story, right? The eldest son is weak and weak. The younger son was unruly and he was unlucky enough to have 2 prodigal sons. He must give this brat an ideological education lesson today. Flash marriage of the era. Married to a crazy husband who amazes everyone. Author, Yuan. Chapter 320. Qin Yancy, who wants to live with you? If you have something to say, we can say it here or tomorrow. He was a fool to leave his sweet-smelling and soft wife without hugging her and sleep next to the old man. Qin Yanjun. We're going back to the room, you can do what you want. Qin Yancy took Ying Sisi to the bedroom. Ying Sisi specifically mentioned the OEM issue. Qin Yancy thinks it's feasible, many drinks are produced with only one brand, and they don't have the certificates that Dad mentioned. Ying Sisi had another idea, the side profile photo you drew for me, why not just use packaging? I have a lot of hair, it can be regarded as a living sign. Chin Yancy thought it was good, I will carve it out later and take it to be printed. Yang Sisi, you are so kind. If a married man is like this, what else can a woman ask for? At night, Yang Sisi turned over and over, and suddenly an arm appeared on her waist. Daughter-in-law, haven't you gone to bed yet? The young man's deliberately lowered voice was still clear in the quiet environment. Can't sleep. As soon as Yang Sisi closed her eyes, the image of her entanglement with the CI a few days ago was in her mind. This person next to me, if my parents were not there and I restrained myself a little, I would still have to get involved. She can pretend to be unaware and carry on with her life. But the act of intimacy, she felt some spontaneous resistance in her heart. How can one woman have two men? She took off his arm without leaving a trace. Chin Yancy simply hugged her. You resisted me today, do you know that they are two people? Choose the one you don't want him to touch. Damn Li Yue, he couldn't spare her for ruining the relationship between them. He was worried and angry, but he didn't dare to ask directly. For fear of breaking the window paper, the two of them would never be able to face each other again. Yang Sisi was surprised that he noticed it. She didn't push him away anymore and denied, no. You are far away from me today, Chin Yancy said, a little hurt. She usually took the initiative to lean into his arms. Yang Sisi excused herself, the weather is hot, you are too hot and I'm sweating next to you. Really? Yang Sisi said seriously, yes. Chin Yancy supported his body with his arms and faced her face to face. The curtains were closed and the room was dark. He could only vaguely see the outline of her face. Then tell me, you like me and care about me the most. Yang Sisi, what will happen if we don't say anything? She hesitated for 2 seconds and then said as he asked, I like you the most and care about you the most. The corners of Chin Yancy's lips curled up. That was more or less the same. He added, you can only tell me. Yang Sisi, competing for favor? If I don't tell you, who should I tell? Chin Yan was choked up at his speech. Are you trying to trick him? He pursed his lips slightly, do you want to rest? Rest. Yang Sisi was going to write a letter to the old man downstairs who was going back to his hometown tomorrow, thanking him for the reminder. She had been drinking dandelion for 2 days, and the discomfort on her body was gone. It seems that he is quite capable. At least he is the most powerful doctor she has ever seen. Early in the morning the next day, Yang Sisi got up and prepared breakfast for the family. Sisi, when did you get up? Did you make the buns? They are just like the ones bought from outside. Your craftsmanship is really good. Yang Sisi smiled and said, I only got up half an hour earlier than you. I cooked the soy milk myself and bought the rest of the breakfast outside. You guys are buying and eating, it's not hygienic outside, Chin's mother said. Chin Yancy, don't eat it if it's not hygienic. Why don't you get up early and do it? Mother of Chin, Please vote.